G'day, my name's Jeff, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my sailboat today. This sailboat I've owned for 10 years. I've actually had it in the water for 5. I bought it and kept it at home till I got some other projects done, and I did a bit of work on it when it was at home. When it was home on the trailer, I stripped the whole bottom and did a complete epoxy bottom with West System 2000, I believe is what it's called. No, that's not correct. It's a gray epoxy bottom, and then we redid the bottom paint in 2018, and it's in really nice shape. I've got additional pictures from the diver who cleaned on it a couple weeks ago, and we put new zincs on it as well. It's got a max prop underneath. It's powered by a Volvo 3GMF freshwater cooled motor that just runs great. Very low hours for a 1985 boat. It's got the engine's only got 700 hours according to the gauge, and I believe that be real. Here's the boat in the background. You can see up the mast. It's got a twin spreader rig. It's original standing rigging. A good portion of the running rigging has been replaced. I'm going to replace a couple more pieces as we're for sale here. I redid the stripes on the side of the boat when I had it out of the water, when I did the bottom and everything. We've got a CQR anchor. See if I can get this held right on the front, and I actually powder coated the anchor so it looks real good. It holds real well. There's an auxiliary anchor back in the back. It's got early Harkin furling with about a 130 jib on it right now. I don't know the age of the jib. It's very serviceable. I've got some other jibs as well. I believe there's 2 other jibs and a spinnaker and a spare main. And the main on it is about 5 years of use, which very little use during my ownership, but it's a Lee Sails main, and there's a matching Lee Sails brand new jib, but it's fairly small. And I took that off, and I've been using the bigger one. As we look down the boat, very stylish windows, very modern for the year. It's probably one of the most modern boats of that era. The standing rigging and the chain plates are in, so you can walk down the outside. You can see the spinnaker pole that's along the side. We've got a brand new sail cover just in the last week. I put it on a couple of days ago. The Dodger is older, but I had it resewn and all kind of reworked a couple of years ago. You can see we've got a very big wheel on the boat, and a very nice cockpit arrangement. Not a lot of wood on the boat. Nice ladder straight down the back. It is set up for radar, but it currently does not have it. It had a real old system on it when I bought it, and I got rid of that, and I haven't installed the new one yet. You can see there's a mount for a motor here, and on the other side there is a life sling that comes with the boat that's in real nice shape. There's winch covers on the winches. I'm down to 1 hatch cover. I'm going to turn the camera around just a second here, and let's see if I can figure out how to turn this thing. Nope, I can't figure out how to turn it around, so we'll keep taking pictures like this. As we enter the boat, as I said, I added leather to the steering wheel in my ownership. It was just chrome before. So a real nice wheel. I've got a compass inside that I'll show you in a minute. The main winches are Lumar 43 self-tailing. There's nice deck tracking for the jibs there. You can see the deck tracks. There is a larger self-tailing winch up on top, and the engine controls are right down here. Underneath this, over here, is there's 5 gallons of spare fuel. There's a 5-gallon aluminum propane tank, brand new propane shutoff and regulator, and brand new hose all the way up to the stove. The lazarette is right here, and the engine throttle control is here, and the lazarette, I added this spring to it a little while ago. Nice big lazarette, still got a little bit of junk in it. You can crawl underneath and get to the steering gear and all the way to the other side for maintenance things. The handle for the whale manual bilge pump is here. I've never used that. I added a heavy-duty secondary pump down on inside that I figured would work instead of that. As I said, the engine control panels. We'll go down and let's see here. It shows 620 hours are shown. I believe that to be accurate. The first guy's just used this boat for day sailing for 10 years. The second guy bought it, used it for a year cruising, probably put a max of a couple hundred hours on it, and then he said let it sit for about 10 years. There's another story there, and then I bought it from him. Lumiere stoppers. These were replaced by me a couple of years ago. They're on both sides. New sheets were 5 years old. The main sheet is new. The furler sheet is new. We need to replace the jib and the spinnaker halyards. I cleaned them the other day, but I think they're due. Coming down into the main salon area. Galley to the left. Chart table to the right. Nice big table. There's a filler piece in the front up there that makes it a full U-shaped seating area. The table flips up, becomes quite large to hold 6, probably 7 people, 8 people could sit in here, a little bit crowded. There's storage behind the seats. Underneath here is, on each side, is a 26-gallon water tank, which I replaced along with all the water hoses. You can also see the outlet for the new heater I just installed last year. It's got a Webasto heater. Samsung Smart TV can hook up to Wi-Fi, and most marinas, some marinas have Wi-Fi that'll run those. Down under the floor here is the bilge. It's nice and clean in there. It's dry. There's a small bilge pump there. Off to the right hidden is another one, and there's a control valve for the water tanks there. The flooring is in good shape. The wood's in good shape. When we step back up over here, there's storage across the top, and then storage in the front compartment where I've got some tools. Name of the boat is Jeanneau, and Jeanneau stands for I love you in French, and it's a French boat. There's deep storage back in here. I've got a coffee pot back there right now. We often have pots and pans in there. Dishes up here. This would normally be food or coffee mugs. And then storage here, we keep our condiments and stuff in little plastic boxes. My Keurig actually happens to be sitting here. I found a really cool Keurig that sits there. So then that opens full when the Keurig's not blocking it. Stove is a 2-burner. I made these nice covers for it a couple years ago. Very clean, very little use. The oven looks brand new. It's a swinger, and then it's got this stop, so then it's not a swinger. It's got pot holders for when you're off sea to hold those in place. And then I made this cutting board to put on it when it's stored. Refrigeration, we have cold refrigeration, runs on 12 volt, has an ice and fridge, works real well. So I added this little spring to hold it up. Same thing I did outside, works real well. Covers over the sinks and dual sinks, and something I'm kind of proud of. The other day I decided we'd never used it, and I turned the valve on, and so that's salt water for rinsing things to conserve water. We were out for 2 weeks, and then the regular pressure water pressure water that must be off the empty tank. There we go. Anyway, and so we have pressure water, hot and cold water, and on the freshwater system. Over here we've got a microwave, and we've got a standard Horizon AIS radio that is also GPS, so it'll send your coordinates out if you send out a mayday. It also shows you commercial vessels or vessels that are transmitting AIS around you. I've got a nice compass that can go up above. We've done iPad navigation, so we've never put in the Raymarine. This is sitting here. Somebody can have that with a radar if they want to put together an old one. I personally would probably just buy a Furuno and run it on the iPad. Up here, storage behind the seats here, you can see. And then there's also storage underneath this one with the, here you go, and that's the pump for the refrigeration system, and then storage next to it. Up in the V-berth, we have a fair amount of room, nice big V-berth. This happens to be an air conditioner that'll be coming out, and then there's some of our panels. There's plenty of storage underneath. This piece comes out, so you can walk in if you want to change clothes. And there's storage up on the sides. Currently, it doesn't have any covering over the top. I've got a quote from an upholsterer to do that. This originally had some foam-backed vinyl that of this vintage of boats. They had that, and it failed in all the compartments, and I tore it out recently, and I haven't decided what to do or what to put back in. All of the overhead lights are LED, and it has 2 large batteries for the house that are sealed. I think they're like either group 31s maybe, and that gives a couple of days at anchor, and then a separate engine battery. And I'm going to put a new one in. Right now I've got the engine running on one battery and the house on the other, and it's intended to run the other way. This is one of the aft staterooms. I don't know how well you can see in here in the dark. Has opening vents on both sides for ventilation. Nice big double bed. And we actually run a heated mattress pad in here when we're at the dock. The battery charger system is over there. It's 40 amp C charger. Works great. In this compartment are is a hanging locker, but it's also got the head toilet hoses coming through it. So it's all good and working good. And then got a little bit of storage underneath, but that's got hoses in it. I'm going to come back and show you the other bedroom. That was the starboard. This would be the port bedroom here. And I've got storage in the locker, same. Underneath there's storage, and the hot water tank's underneath, and the furnace is underneath. I'm going to put this back up. This goes up here and covers the gauges, and then you get a nice clean bed. I've just got it down for the moment. I'll get that fixed a little bit later. Hope I'm not jumping around. Underneath this is spare parts and tools. Things stored under here. There's also a compartment in back. Then when we're in dock, we run the electric heater. When we're out at sea, we run a brand new Webasto diesel furnace. Over here is the control for the propane. Turn it on and off here. That's all been redone and new. And I showed you the stove. Underneath the chart table seat, there's nice storage underneath there where we usually keep food. Under here is the controls for the head, because the head can be salt water or fresh water. And then there's the fuel filters and water intake for the head, and the fuel tank's actually under there, and it fills from the deck. And then we'll show you the head. The head has a brand new Dometic electric head, a sink, and there's a pull-up shower if somebody was inclined to use that. And I'm kind of proud of this. I put this in and made great points with my wife. Electric flushing head. It isn't terribly quiet, but neither was pumping. There's also storage in here. And this tank is an injector. If we were using the black water, it puts the chemicals in and makes it smell nice. And the black water tank is also a flexible tank, like the water tanks I showed you, under the bed in the starboard cabin. And it's virtually never been used. We've got double lights up in the top of the bathroom so that we could see better. And she really liked that as well. All the lights in board are, I think I already said, are LED. And then finally we'll go through and show you the engine compartment. It's a really clean engine for its year. It purrs like a kitten and just runs really well. A Yanmar 3GMF, which is freshwater cooled. And I went through, when I bought it, I went ahead and rebuilt the high pressure pumps, and it turned out really, really nice. Hope that's a good tour. Let's go sailing. It's a great boat for $39,999. It's hard to find boats in this price range that are modern like this and in the kind of shape this boat's in. I feel real good about it. There's not very much to beat up on it. The bottom is absolutely clean, and and in excellent shape with excellent bottom paint and an excellent propeller. I added that. I've done tons of upgrades in my lifetime, or my life, with this boat, and I've just it's ready for someone else. I got another one on the way. So thank you for listening, and text me, call me, and we'll go from there.